April was C-section month, and for moms-to-be, it is a viable alternative, which is now more safe and effective. I spoke with Dr. Vijay Bending Navale on why it's a viable option and why it's important to have good relations with your OBGYN. It's C-section month, and there's a lot to consider about having a C-section or not having a C-section, and you're going to tell us all about it.
Yes, absolutely. One of the big advances in modern medicine is the ability to safely perform C-sections. Before that, and before good OB care was available for Americans, the incidence of child and maternal mortality was quite high. But now we have good care that can be provided in just about every hospital in the United States. And a big portion of that is the ability to safely perform a C-section. The C-section, while it does involve an incision, it allows for the safety of both the mother and the child when either the position of the child isn't appropriate, or the child's too big, or there's a disproportionate size. There's certain factors, and the ability to do that C-section and allow both the mom and the baby to go home a few days later in good shape is really a great development, and one that we really should be thankful for.
But all my life, I've heard women talking about it's better to give birth naturally than to have a C-section. How do you respond to those concerns?
If you look at the safety to the mother and the baby, the difference between a C-section and natural vaginal birth isn't great. We've gotten to where now the anesthesia is extremely safe. The surgical techniques are extremely safe. So there isn't a dramatic difference. Now, there's certain instances where really you definitely want to avoid vaginal delivery, and important definitely to get regular OB care with your OB/GYN doctor. As long as you and your doctor are on the same page, then your whole experience should be quite good. And at the end of the time, you have a nice baby. So it's really a great deal.
Now, obviously, we've been having babies forever, but is Lamaze and things like that, classes, training before the birth, are those worth the effort?
They certainly are. Very, very relevant, much more relevant, of course, if you're able to have a vaginal delivery. But those classes are great. They help you in managing discomfort. And most importantly, they help educate both the mother and the father. So they'll educate the team as to what to expect. We all see childbirth all the time and assume that it's automatic and easy. But there's nothing automatic and nothing easy about it. Everybody has to be real educated, the mother or the father, just to know what to expect, how to treat this, tremendous newborn baby that's going to come into the parents' lives, and it's going to change everything for the positive. But it's very important to do so.
One of the things that we discovered parenting is that they offer now the water births, which I thought was fascinating. And that's got to be a relatively new development, 20 years, 30 years, where they've started doing it.
Yes, it's a relatively new development, but, it's important to get your OB/GYN doctor's recommendation. Now, as you said, babies have been being born since the dawn of time. And while much of the time everything goes perfectly, it's those instances when there's trouble that it's very important to make sure you have the backing of an excellent doctor, nurse, medical system. So make sure you make a relationship with an OB/GYN doctor and go with that.
Great information. Thanks again, Doctor.